Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH_sports. Follow me on my finance channel at AIH Finance. Okay, so a few things. Number one, people seem to be irritated of just me still talking about it, but you know what? I'm still going to talk about it.
No, don't.
I would like, first of all, for the grading companies to clarify what's acceptable versus what's not. Some people say, like, who cares? It's Panini. They have bad quality control, and same with Topps. Yeah, I agree. They have bad quality control from what I've seen, but that doesn't make the excuse of potentially altering the card. That's how I view it. So let's look at this. So Nat Turner, I asked him, hey, what do you think about this one card that was a CSG 9 turned to what, a PSA 10? And Nat Turner then reached out to Kurt's Card Care, which I was surprised, and he asked, what did you specifically do to this card? And then I believe Kurt responded saying that the card was dirty, the owner wiped off some old fingerprints, or something like that, okay? So I'm assuming some of Kurt's care card kit was used. Just based on the interpretation of this. But that's really interesting, regardless of whether this was wiping fingerprints or not. And I mentioned wiping fingerprints, according to Nat Turner, is fine, okay, because the graders do that. But the thing is, now, every time someone's confronted, hey, when they made a change, are they just going to say, hey, we just wiped off some fingerprints? Because that's the thing that you could use. There's no way of proving whether someone, unless they have technology, which I don't think they do. I thought they did, but it appears that they don't. All someone can say is, hey, look, there were fingerprints and I wiped it off. And under that rule, cleaning off fingerprints is kosher, right? So that's, I think, the excuse that a lot of these guys are going to use moving forward. But I don't think it's a valid excuse because moving forward, because PSA says graders wipe off fingerprints all the time, okay? And the same situation came off with, I was shocked this even made it to Darren Rovell, but Action Network. And yeah, I was messaging him a little bit about this, and here's the thing. It says, man who cleaned Justin Herbert's $1 million card. Procedure is non-controversial. That's what's his name? Kurt is saying. So Darren Rovell actually interviewed him, right? It's gotten to that point. Now, long story short, we know the story. I talked about it. There was what appeared to be a stain. That stain was removed, right? And we could read a little bit about it in the article. So the word cleaning isn't as dirty as trimming, but there's certainly limits to how much should be cleaned. Cleaning can also mean a lot of different things. A card that is cleaned too much is frowned upon, might even be caught by graders and failed, but there's ambiguity about what a card's natural state is and how imperfections that came about can be ethically fixed. So PSA has evidence of cleaning. I believe it's N-7, and if a grader catches it, then they could label it as altered, okay? Now, that doesn't mean you take a microfiber cloth and wipe the fingerprint off. No, that's not that. It's if you use what seems to be a solution, chemical, etc., right? And let's take a look at this, okay? Now the question is he telling the truth about this, right? It goes on later on in the article. It says, cologne spray, which he calls a simple lubricant, is used to take care of simple stains. The instructions say to spray the card, let it sit for 5 minutes, then wipe off the stain with the cloth. Cologne said he has tried to contact Grader so he can know what they're looking for, and if he sells the kosher, what he sells is kosher, that's what he says. But his attempts haven't been successful. And then it talks about his YouTube video lives, etc. So this is what Cologne is saying about this, okay? Now the question is he telling the truth or not, okay? That's the $1 million question. That's the $1.1 million question, right? Half the people think that he's going to be telling the truth. Half the people will probably not. And this is what he said. Cologne said the seller came to him in Michigan and asked if he could get rid of the fingerprint. Okay, now it's a fingerprint, okay? Because in the messages or in the dialogue with not customers, but people following him on his IG, it was a stain, okay? It says get rid of the fingerprint. Cologne 40 said was no fee. Full disclosure, Cologne said, I didn't really use much, just my hot breath and a microcloth. Okay, so the thing is he telling the truth? Yes or no? You can't tell without a shadow of a doubt if he's telling the truth. And the thing is, it says how he could get rid of the fingerprint, right? We know that getting rid of fingerprints is fine, but then in the Instagram messages, not messages, but in the dialogue, it says stain. And I don't think a stain is the same thing as a fingerprint. Okay? Say what it is. But I think what's good out of this is that there's dialogue, and now it's caught the attention of Nat Turner, and he's asking questions. From my understanding, he was told about Kurt over a year ago. And how I know this because Coach Co, like I mentioned in the video before, discussed this, okay? Or he told me, excuse me. He told me that, hey, he's reached out to Nat Turner, right? I don't think they have the technology, but once again, is it a fingerprint or is it stain? Because it said stain, and a stain, in my opinion, taking that off is considered an alteration based on the terms of services of PSA. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.